Imagine that something you've done for your entire life, something as natural as breathing, was suddenly impossible for you. Imagine if one day you woke up and could not speak. Perhaps your voice still worked, but you were unable to form words, to make sentences. Imagine if you were unable to communicate your most basic thoughts, to reach out to people around you, to talk with family, friends, and colleagues. Imagine if something as simple as ordering a cup of coffee became impossible. Unfortunately, for some people in British Columbia, this imaginary situation is a very real condition. Adults lose the ability to speak for a variety of reasons. Some have never been able to speak due to trauma at birth or in early childhood, a condition often referred to as cerebral palsy. Others acquire problems later in life due to brain injuries sustained in falls and car accidents, or from strokes, or from neurologic diseases such as multiple sclerosis and ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. In this video, you will meet 4 people who know firsthand the challenges of trying to communicate without speaking. Gordon spent years as a fisherman on BC's coast and then recently became an investment advisor in Vancouver when he suffered a stroke. The result of the stroke is that while Gordon understands what is being said to him, he cannot get the words out to express himself. Here, Gordon shares a bit of his frustration with our interviewer, Lois.
So, do you have trouble getting someone's attention? You do? You point and... Yeah. And sometimes that works? Yeah. Okay.
Gordon is aware of the challenges he faces interacting with people and the frustration he experiences. Ben led a busy family life in the Fraser Valley and worked for years as a drywall contractor and a bus driver. 5 years ago, Ben also had a stroke that left him without the ability to speak. Here he relates to Lois a few of his communication challenges.
Do you use the telephone at all?
Yeah? Yes.
Okay. All right.
You.
So you can say some words?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What is the most frustrating part of your communication now? The part, the inability to talk?
Yes.
That's the worst part?
Yes.
Okay.
Both Gordon and Ben use all the resources they have to communicate: paper and pen, gestures, and a few remaining words. Still, these are obviously not adequate for effective communication in the world around them.
Do you have a hard time getting somebody to take you seriously?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Some people suffer more serious impairments to their communication after a stroke. For many years, Lewis was a successful potter. With his wife, he ran a busy store in Vancouver, talking to customers and sharing his humor. Lewis had a stroke 3 years ago. As a result, he can no longer read and relies on limited spoken words and facial expressions to communicate.
How has your communication problem affected your outlook on life? You can't speak?
Yeah.
Okay.
Others have faced challenges to communicate all their lives. Rand is a young man, 33 years old, with cerebral palsy.
How are you?
I am fine. How are you?
Awesome.
Well, that's great. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah. Can you tell me a bit about how you communicate? You seem to have lots of stuff.
Yes.
So you use a book. It's got quite a few pages. Letters, numbers, words.
For many individuals without functional speech, modern technology offers a variety of options to speak alternatively. Speech-generating devices convert messages into spoken words that can be easily understood by all. As Gordon knows firsthand, the power of speech cannot be underestimated. With speech, an individual can communicate with almost anyone who speaks their language. The listener does not need to read messages or know sign language or unusual symbols. Just listen and understand. For almost 20 years, the government of British Columbia has recognized the importance of communication devices to the academic and social development of students with severe communication disabilities. Since 1989, the Ministry of Education, through Special Education Technology BC, also known as SETBC, has provided communication devices to students in kindergarten to grade 12. Unfortunately, until recently, access to this essential technology ended upon graduation, leaving young people without their voices at the beginning of their adult lives. When Rand graduated from high school in 1995, he returned his communication device to SETBC. Since then, he's used a variety of paper systems, and due to a lack of funding, he's had to make do with obsolete, recycled equipment. In 2005, the government of British Columbia recognized the tragic impact of removing essential communication systems from the hands of young adults at the very moment they were trying to build an adult life. Also in 2005, Communication Assistance for Young Adults, known as CAYA, began providing speech-generating devices and communication support services to young adults between 19 and 27 years of age. In 2007, CAYA's funding was extended for 3 years to 2010. And just recently, in April of 2008, the eligible age range was expanded to age 35. Now, Rand and other adults under the age of 35 will be eligible for communication devices and training under this expanded age, but Gordon, Ben, Lewis, and many others over the age of 35 still do not have access to communication support. As an essential part of our humanity, it is almost impossible to think of independent speech as an optional luxury at any age. To examine the benefit of restoring independent communication to older adults, CAYA obtained unique, one-time funding to provide Rand, Gordon, Ben, and Lewis with speech-generating devices and professional assessment and training. Our goal was to document their situation as they struggled to manage their lives without functional speech. Then, through the use of a unique funding opportunity, provide them with an appropriate speech-generating device that they could not afford to purchase. Some months later, we revisited these individuals to observe the impact these devices made to their lives. Before we see how our 4 subjects fared after receiving speech-generating devices, let's talk a bit about this technology. Speech-generating devices cost on average about $7,000, and in daily use, the devices last an average of about 4 years. In addition, to be successful, these complex marvels of technology require professional assistance with their selection and setup. All 4 of the men you have met were trying to figure out how to buy their own devices and pay for programming and training. Here are some of the difficult choices they and their families were considering.
R. S. P.
RSP. You were going to go into your retirement savings plan and take out money to buy your Vantage. Wow. So what would you need to do to find the money to purchase the communication device?
Well, we could sell the car or get some RSP money out. We cross the bridge when we get there.
Right. So you're looking at some pretty drastic measures to purchase this communication device for
well,
your
it's
husband.
the last hope
right.
that device is, because we tried everything else.
All of these people have disabilities with increased costs in many areas of their lives and decreased financial options. The decision to sell the family car or liquidate savings is a desperate measure that jeopardizes their present and future independence. How many people in BC are like Rand, Gordon, Ben, and Lewis, struggling with severe communications disabilities that leave them without speech? Demographic data suggests that the incidence is only a tiny percentage of the population. In our province, we project that only about 330 people would need speech devices in any given year, a very small number of people with a very significant need. We first met these four men in September of 2007. We revisited them again 4 months later in February of 2008. Sadly, Lewis was unable to complete the project due to a serious illness, but Ben, Gordon, and Rand shared with us the difference that independent speech has made to their lives. Here, Gordon tells Lois how he breaks the ice with friends and new people.
How are you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay.
Yep.
I'm not so good.
So you can have more conversations with people.
And sometimes your speech device lets people know when you've had enough.
So that's important to you, isn't it? To be able to chat with people. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You're driving me crazy.
Oh, do you like that one? And what difference has this device made to your life as a whole, overall?
Please wait. I have something to tell you.
So people will stop and listen. Right.
For Gordon, being heard and having a chance to participate in conversation has made a world of difference to him. Ben used his new device to turn the tables on our interviewer Lois and asked her the questions.
How's work?
Work is great.
Yes.
Work is busy.
Yes.
But work is great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was very quiet because
Oh,
I
yeah.
had a very bad cold. So I slept all weekend.
Ben is now able to talk about his personal history.
I used to do drywalling for 30 years and did school bus driving for 14 years.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
So you were a busy guy.
Yes.
And meeting strangers is a whole lot easier.
It has given me a better life with strangers.
Yeah, so you're able to talk to strangers more
Yes.
easily.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
How the device changed your life?
Gives a life in a much better way of living.
Yes.
Fabulous.
Yes.
Better communication has made changes for Rand, too.
So have you noticed any changes in talking with people? Like, is it easier to talk with your friends and family?
I am not frustrated.
That's excellent.
With better communication, the possibilities in Rand's life are opening up.
Any new plans coming up for you?
School. I would like to go to school. Question is the money.
Access to essential speech technology made a tremendous impact in the lives of these individuals, allowing them to renew their family ties, speak to their friends, and make plans for the future. Thanks to unique funding for this project, they will be able to keep these devices. But currently, there is no funding to support speech technology for other people over 35 in BC. They remain silenced, isolated from their families and communities. ISEC Canada, the National Organization for People Who Cannot Speak, and CAYA look forward to working with the Government of British Columbia to discuss the most efficient and effective way to expand access to speech-generating devices for people of all ages in BC. Everyone has a story to tell and a desire to participate in life. Let's make sure they have the voices to be part of our world.
Address is GSP Ledger, Shaw.ca.